Rakul Preet Singh is the daughter of Colonel Kulwinder Singh and Mrs. Gajinder Kaur, my coursemate and friend from NDA. Rakul Preet Singh has seen cantonment life closely and has studied at Army Public School. She completed her maths honors. I repeat, maths honors from JMC Delhi University. And after dabbling in modeling, she moved to the film industry in South, where she is a very successful actress. She has acted in Hindi movies also, and some of her recent releases are Ayyari, De De Pyar De, and Marjawa. She will soon be seen opposite Kamal Hassan in Indian 2. She is a fitness freak and owns a few branches of highly successful functional training gyms. She is a national level golf player and a proud owner of a franchise in Tennis Premier League. Rakul Preet Singh, I played golf too. But
oh, yes?
Yeah, I did. But from a single handicap player, I moved down to 18. Today, I barely managed to play 18. Probably old age catching up.
No, probably lack of practice.
Maybe. She has worked for the upliftment of girl child, the Women Development and Child Welfare Department of State of Telangana. Recently announced her the brand ambassador of Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao campaign. Ladies and gentlemen, on this 74th Independence Day at the Red Fort, our Honorable Prime Minister commenced his speech by paying rich tribute to our armed forces. He paid respect to the martyrs who sacrificed their lives in the line of duty. He was assisted by one of our lady officers, Major Shweta Pandey, to unfurl the national flag. He spoke of increasing the strength of NCC by 1 lakh, out of which 1/3 will be girls, highlighting the role of defense in national building. Ladies and gentlemen, every day we sacrifice 5 brave soldiers who come home wrapped in the national flag. Friends, our nation today needs young blood, the best of the best and the bravest of the brave, to protect 135 crore citizens along the length and breadth of this country, from the LAC to the LOC, from Ladakh to Lakshadweep. Friends, defense is a wonderful career. You may come from small or big cities, different race or religion, but once you join the defense forces, you all are brothers from different mothers. An association which you will cherish for the rest of your life. The defense forces believe in MMG, Mandir, Masjid, Gurdwara, leaving a deep message of national integration. The achievement of our national heroes is dreaded by the enemy and respected by all. Remember, the country is always as strong as its defense forces. Gentlemen, I will now hand you over to Rakul Preet Singh, and she will be speaking to you about her experiences and how defense has groomed her to be a very successful personality today. I would request you to please maintain the decorum of a webinar. Thank you, and over to ma'am, please.
Thank you so much, Uncle, to begin with, for such kind words. Hi, everyone. I wish this was more in live than being on Zoom, but I guess that's the new normal. My dad has known Major Kalsi for a while, and that's how I have known of him. And in fact, a couple of my friends also from school have trained under him, in the Baalnoi Academy. So it's a pleasure to be here to talking to all of you, and I really wish you all the luck for your future, and I really hope you crack it. And I was telling him, I said, let's open it to questions to begin with initially, but what am I going to tell them, what am I going to talk to them? But let me tell you all, I think today, when I see people around with the kind of pressures that people have, having come from a defense background, that's something I feel comes so naturally to us to handle. The way we travel, the kind of exposure that we've had, the kind of facilities that we get. And I always feel, I think it's a tough life for the officers, but it's a great life for the kids and the families. So I'm sure it's going to be very tough for all of you all, but amazing for your families and kids, because they get an insight into so many things and so many fields. And I owe everything, that whatever I have learned, or whatever my experience of growing up or life is all thanks to the defense forces, really. So I'd like you guys to chip in. I'd like to make it more interactive, give questions if you guys have, talk, and have a little smile on your faces.
So we did a little exercise before we started this session today. We asked students for their questions that they had from you.
Right.
One of the most popular questions that has come our way, and this one today is by Ajit Oberoi. He says, tell us a little bit about your Fauji upbringing.
So, sorry, who was this question by?
Arjit.
So Ajit, my Fauji upbringing, I changed 10 schools. 10th school was APS Dholakua when I was in my 9th class, which means that my dad took us to every single place. Even when he was posted in a field area, we were in the best possible school around, because dad was in Northeast for 4 years on the Manipur border, and we were in Aizawl. But we traveled with him at all times, even when he would go for his courses. So yes, I changed a lot of schools, but I think that's what gave me the ability to be able to gel with anybody I meet. We meet constantly so many different people from different fields, especially as an actor, and you need to be friendly with them, even if you're not in possibly the nicest of your moods. So I guess that helped me a lot. All the travel helped me a lot. I think the flair for picking up languages happens, and in general, I think you are so exposed to different kinds of sports. I mean, Uncle mentioned that I play golf. I played golf thanks to the army golf courses available everywhere. Otherwise, Fauji cannot afford the game. I still remember at that point, it used to be difficult for my dad to make sure that we get the best of the golf sets, best of the coaching, because we wanted to play professional. My brother played professional, and I also played nationals in my high school. So he used to make sure that we pick our own balls up, we do, because caddies are expensive, game is expensive. But just the fact that for me, I've been lucky that I had these opportunities, whatever sport I wanted, the best of education that was given to me thanks to the good army schools around. I studied in army school actually from 7th grade onwards till about 6th class. I was in convents, and then I went to my to army school. But I guess in general, if I have to say, we guys have seen life and death so closely, not knowing, when your father is going to come back, not knowing what the situation on the borders is, that we take everything with a pinch of salt and with so much positivity. And I think that has really helped me in being balanced in what I do today. So all of this comes from defense background, whether it's how I am internally or how I am externally or how I deal with people, it's all thanks to the army.
I think I identify with you a lot on that, because I've seen that myself.
How many schools have you changed?
I thankfully changed only one, because my father had retired by then. So I was the only one who managed to have that, but just to grow up in that environment has been something different altogether. So that confidence that you get naturally.
Yeah, naturally. I mean, it's okay, you're always traveling. I have so many people telling me, so I am a workaholic, and I can travel and shoot at night and shoot during the day and not sleep. And I used to do all of that. And people say, how do you do it? Does travel not get to you? And travel's always been such a common thing for us that it actually doesn't get to me. So So I guess it's good that my dad was in the army.
Definitely. So the next question that we have for you is, this is by Julie, and now it is also on the chat box by Savan. Your academic record has been strong. How come you decided to join the film industry? I think you'll have to set the record straight with this one.
My academic, well, I guess I was just blessed. I'll just say that. I guess I was just born with beauty and brains. No, I was just somebody, I guess, who enjoyed studying. I enjoyed going to school, so I guess academic records were good because of that reason. I was a good student. I wouldn't say I was a 99% kind of student, but I was more a 91, 92 who would do everything else as well. So I was more the all-rounder who would score well, also be in good books for the teachers, so that whatever notorious things I did, they wouldn't know. But I guess it is really important to have a solid educational background. I'll just add here that I did mathematics honors, and I started modeling when I was 18. And there was a point when I did my first film. I was just in first year of college, doing maths honors, and I fell really short of attendance. And dad gave me an option. He said, if this is what you want to do, you can shift to correspondence and finish your education, if it's so much stress for you. And I told him, I said, no, because life's really uncertain, and I would want to have backup of my graduation, because tomorrow, if I don't make it, I at least have a graduation to fall back upon. I can do my master's at any point, globally, any part of the world. I can go and pursue something. So I feel somewhere I was just blessed to understand the importance of education, and that's why my records say that. But I always wanted to be an actor. I always wanted to give it a try. I didn't know much about acting. My mom used to actually she was the person who made me realize a little that maybe why don't you try, because you're tall and you should. And I was initially a tomboy. I just didn't understand the idea of why I should try films or acting. But Miss India was something that she sort of put that seed in my head, and then I grew up with it, and I was like, you know what, actually probably I should try. And then slowly and steadily it just happened. I guess I was meant to be here. Yeah, it's a long journey.
It's been a long journey home.
Yeah.
The next question that we have is from Pratham Shokeen. He asks, how did your defense background help you in the film industry?
Like I said, that learning and being who you are is something which comes from the family that you're born in, the people that you grow up around, and the exposure that you have. And like I mentioned, that the exposure that I had due to defense was just very holistic on the whole. It was something that I was just a confident kid. I could just walk up to anybody and ask a question if I had to. I was just more very, very comfortable in my own skin. I see a lot of people, when they come, let's say that the film industry was a world that I had no idea about, zero idea. But I'll give you guys one example. I went for my first meeting in sport shoes. I didn't even know that you're not supposed to do that. I was wearing sports shoes and trousers and a formal shirt, and I went for a modeling assignment. Today it would be a biggest fashion pop. I would never do it, but I'm telling you that the confidence that I had at that point at 18 to just walk into a meeting and just being very comfortable in my own skin was thanks to the defense background. And like I said, travel, just being nice with people, just being grounded, because you've seen life so closely. Nothing crashes you. I think that's very important. It doesn't, what you really need is persistence in life for whatever you do. It's not just my industry. It could be yours as well, and yours is tougher. But the perseverance, the discipline, discipline. I think the way army has, I have this clock in me, which I feel is, it just stops working. I can't be late. I just can't be late by even a minute. There's something that goes wrong. And when I started working, a lot of people told me that this is going to change because of the film industry. But now people know that I come on time. So they give me a time which is apps. So for red carpets, for award functions, I'm given a time. If 7:30 the card reads, I'm given 9 o'clock. So, all these small things, whether it's your discipline, your understanding of life, your ability to take a lot of work on, it all comes from the defense background.
I was reading this interview where it said that if somebody asks you to come at 7:30, you're there at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, not 7, I'll be there at 7:25. And it gives me a strange kind of high. I get this high if I'm there before time. It's strange, but I just like it. And I think nothing comes in life without discipline. Yeah. And that's the least you can do. When you put in your 100% intention, at least be honest with yourself for whatever you do. So if I'm required to be there at a job at 7:30 or 9 or 5 a.m. or 4 a.m., whatever time it is, I have a funda in life that I've been blessed and given that opportunity to be able to work where millions of people want to. So I can't take it lightly, and I can't disrespect someone else's time or take the fact lightly that I have work in my hand. I think your intentions go a long way.
I know if my dad could speak right now, he would talk about your OLQs and how they're on point. And he would try to woo you to join the defense forces at this point. So I'm going to keep him on mute. This next question we have is from Abhinav. Did you ever aspire to join the defense forces?
Not really. I didn't. I didn't know what I wanted to do for the longest time. I just knew that I did not want to be a doctor or an engineer. So I used to always tell my dad that there are 2 things I will not be, doctor, engineer, because they're enough. And then I'll figure life. But defense was never on my mind. No. I guess
Sorry, I was going to, yeah. No, please go ahead.
I think I was a very filmy kid from the beginning, and I wanted to give this a try, for sure.
And why did you make up your mind about not wanting to ever be a doctor and engineer, may I ask?
Because there are just plenty. I just wanted to do something which was different. There were plenty. Everybody I saw in my class, and ever since I was a kid, I think I just kept hearing, from 5th, 6th standard people, what are they going to do, doctors or engineers? And I wanted to do something which was different. So I remember I used to just tell my dad, मुझे नहीं पता मैं क्या करूँगी, लेकिन मेरे पास लोग होंगे मेरा काम करने के लिए. Because he used to say that, he'll laugh now if he sees this ever, that you don't know kitchen ka kaam, you don't do this, you don't do that, learn a little bit, you're a girl, you should know these basic things. When I was a kid, when I was 5th, 6th grade, I didn't know how to heat water and all. And I used to just tell him, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I'll have people to do it for me. And I'll definitely make sure that I have that life. So I really had just that one line in my head, honestly. But I guess life takes you, the intention was right. So it just sort of navigated me to this. But nothing against doctors and engineers. I mean, they're running the country, the world. But I guess I just wasn't meant for it.
Fair. The next question is from Abhishek Pandit. How did the defense equip you to face challenges and or adversity that you may face?
See, again, firstly, I hate the word challenges, okay? I think it's a very negative word in life, because nothing comes without a challenge. And the beauty of challenge is that when you are pursuing it towards something that you're passionate about, the journey itself becomes really beautiful. That's how I look at it. So half the battle is won when you understand that whatever you're doing is in order to achieve what you want to, and make that entire journey beautiful, rather than calling it a challenge. And now coming to how has defense equipped me with challenges that I face, I have a very positive outlook to life. I don't think that I've really faced too many challenges. If I call standing in a line and giving auditions and being rejected a challenge and get disappointed with it, it's my fault. It's not a challenge. It's something that you're meant to do in order to do what I want to do. Like all of you all are putting in so much effort. You do all your ragla training and your which a normal person can't even think of. They get tired with 30 minutes of gym. I look at them and I'm like, what's wrong with all of these people? But you guys put in so much effort because you are passionate towards joining the forces, right? So I think when I think just the way you look at life, like I earlier said, that small things don't bother you, and you are much stronger because you've seen life from the edge. You've seen how your parents have been, and they've still been happy even with not everything possible. I mean, every luxury around, but they make the most of those moments. And when you've grown up on that, I mean, I've lived in mud houses and I've lived in the best of the houses, so I think when you've seen that extreme, you're just very balanced, and being balanced helps you in life. So I guess, like I said, it all boils down to the same thing, that the overall personality development that happens, the strength that you get from within. We are fighters. I think we see our dads, and we start acting like fighters. So we're go-getters, and that zeal in life and that zest to do what you want to do and not give up, and that perseverance, all of that comes from the defense, I'd say.
Can you share with us one interesting episode from, say, sometime that you stayed at cantonment? Any of your favorite places that you stayed at?
I have a lot of stories from Arjun Vihar in New Delhi. I used to be, so you want an incident, is it?
Yes.
I'm not telling you a naughty incident, but I will tell you a lot of bunks. Yeah, a lot of, we would say that we're going for tuitions. And this one time I said that my tuitions used to happen in Arjun Vihar. And this one time my mom went to RR hospital, and then she said, okay, I'm going to come back. But she came back before my class was supposed to end, but it turns out I actually didn't have a class. We were just chilling with friends. So a lot of stories like that in Arjun Vihar where I've been caught, and I mean, not many, once or twice, but then they understand it's a part of growing up. But I've lived literally my high school years has been the Delhi cantonment because of the Army Golf Club and the cantonment area there. I used to go straight from school to the golf club at 3 o'clock, play for 4 hours, go back, do my tuitions, get home by 9. I guess what also Army did do is that, or my dad did, is that he kept us so busy because of all these, sport facilities that we had ever since I was a kid, that I didn't have time for anything. I don't remember in my life playing Pakran Pakrai or Ghar Ghar or any of these games, even when I was growing up. Yeah, I would get scolded if I played, like, once I played Ghar Ghar and I got scolded, like, what is this silly game, go play, it was tennis class, or it's skating, or it's karate. But because we had all these facilities, he made sure that we were mentally occupied in things which were beyond just the academic studies, and that really helps you in growing in life. Then your life is just, you're more than just your work, which is very important.
Right. And just one more question. You spoke earlier about wanting to finish your graduation. How important do you feel like a backup plan is?
It's important. Yeah, I'll tell you. See, I chose an industry which was not, I didn't know anybody, I didn't know anything, I didn't know if I was going to ever make it or not make it. And I feel in life it's very important to not be delusional. It's very important to be in touch with who you are and what the reality is. For me, I might feel that I'm great and I'm going to crack a audition, but I also need to realize that there are lakhs of other people who might be better than me or equally good, and what are the odds that I am going to crack it, and how much time do I give myself. And it's okay that not everybody gets everything that they want, right? I'm not saying that be negative, but yes, do always keep questioning yourself on, are you being honest with your potential and what you are delivering? That's where you sort of bridge the gap in expectation and reality. So for me, that is why backup was very important, because when I moved to Bombay in 2011, I gave myself 2 years, and I said that if I make it in 2 years, great. And if I don't, then I'm going to go and do my master's, because I didn't want to be a struggler all my life. Like I said, I knew one thing, that I don't know what I do, but I'm not going to be a struggler. I wanted a smooth life, and it's fine if I didn't crack this. I would have done something better with my life, you know, as long as you have that faith in your own self that you will do something great with yourself. Yeah, and that's the reason that I had a backup, because you can't just depend on one thing. You know, there are too many people vying for that same thing, and it's important to be realistic. It's important to, actually, it's tougher to face rejections, and it's than your, you know, success. I mean, if you can weigh your life and calculate on what if things don't work, what do I do, then I feel you're safer.
Question. This is from Kartikeya Arora. He says, being an army brat, was it difficult for you to go for your dreams because of transfers and postings?
Go for my dreams because of transfers?
Because of transfers and postings.
No, yeah, I think, in fact, it made me the person that I am, you know, easily adaptable to different situations. I am telling you, there are so many people who can't take the cold, who need their luxuries, you know, who need 4 people around them. And I'm okay with not having that. You know, I can do a 50-degree and a 1-degree, because you've seen it all. You've not grown up in the comforts of luxuries at all points, which is what gives you the ability to be able to handle any situation while you're shooting. I mean, people might think that it looks all glamorous from outside, but it's not easy. I mean, till last year, I was actually sleeping only 4 to 5 hours. I sleep only 5 hours. That's my maximum sleep at night. It's the lockdown which has helped me just sleep as much as I want to, and this is the longest break of my life, literally. But I guess, on the contrary, like your question, it only helped me being a better person. Yes, at that point, I did feel that, what is it that keeps getting posted? I remember I was in my 4th grade that I first time cried, because that's the first time I made close friends. You know, that's when you start realizing what friends are. You're 8 or 9. And I made very good friends. We were posted in Jalandhar, and from there he got posted to Devlali within a year. And I cried. I said, I hate your job and I don't want to go, and you know, I just settled in, and then you move out again. And he told me, oh, there's paragliding there, so you can do paragliding. And that's how he took me to Devlali. But now when I look back, I'm so grateful that I had an upbringing like that. I had a life like that. One, you're always on your toes. Yeah, you don't get tired. Like, somewhere I feel that people are just generally tired. You कहते ना थके रहते हैं. So we are just so triggered in our minds, and just always so full of energy, and okay to just do whatever you want. And because our lives are so active, you know, I used to always say one thing for sure, that I'm going to only marry a civilian, an army officer. Others are civilians. And I'm sure you all would know, if any one of you is from army background, you know, would say, ye to civilian hai. Like, look down upon them. Ye to civilians hai. Because now you know what I mean with the kind of lifestyle we have, right? Like, busy, always doing this and doing that. And all these things really help you in life. Like, I'm so grateful that I had experiences that I had.
That was actually one of our questions by Renu. If you were, you know, if you had any plans of wanting to marry an army officer.
अभी थोड़ा ट्रांसफर होना मुश्किल हो जाएगा ना from place to place, and I would not really want a long distance marriage, so I guess that dream I won't pursue.
Okay, one very interesting question that has come our way. You must be aware that MS Dhoni, Kapil Dev, they're also in the TA now, where they've you know, promoted the youth and also of citizens to join the forces. So do you have any such intentions of wanting to join the TA, of raising awareness about the armed forces with the citizens of India?
You know, I haven't really thought of joining the TA, but I would definitely endorse the idea of joining the forces, for sure, like what I'm doing to all of you. I feel I've had the most balanced, the most amazing upbringing, and the most exposure, which people from some of the best of the places, you know, cream society of Mumbai also don't get. Or I just feel it just makes you apt for life, and I would absolutely endorse that idea. And your country needs you. I mean, people lack patriotism. It hurts me when people are not aware of what all the forces do on the borders. They don't even know the states of the country. They don't even know the capitals. Like my heart bleeds when I say I lived in Aizawl and people are like, "Where's Aizawl?" And I feel like hitting them. I'm like, the forces are doing so much. You know, you are safe because 24 hours there are people on the borders who are protecting the country. And I think that sense of patriotism and oneness needs to come. And if given an opportunity, I definitely like to tell more people about how beautiful it is to join the forces.
Great. The next question is from Bharat Sachdeva. He is one of our fitness enthusiasts. So his question is, yes, and we've got this from a lot of our kids. Several of our students follow you religiously and watch your fitness videos on Instagram. How have you kept yourself fit during this pandemic?
I'm sure they would have seen that also on Instagram, because I was like, okay, let me keep posting stuff. But I think fitness for me is a way of life. Yeah, it's like how breathing is for people, how eating is for people, like all of it, right? So I can't have 2 days without not working out, and that's become a lifestyle. And that's again actually thanks to the army upbringing, because my parents always kept me so much into sports. Every day I was used to some sort of physical activity, some sport. When I turned to golf, I started professional golfing and coaching around 7th grade, and before that I touched every single sport as well. And when I started modeling, obviously I couldn't pursue a sport as such because I was getting tanned and I didn't want that. Then it turned to gymming because I had so much energy in me, which had to come out. And that's how my love for fitness began. So over the years, it's just become so important to me that if I'm moody, if I don't work out, if I don't flush out my toxins, I don't feel that every cell of my body breathes. So I need to do that for my sanity. So even if I don't have a gym, I don't think we need a gym. You can just work out anywhere. I've been practicing yoga more through the lockdown, because I introduced myself to yoga about 2 years back. But it's easier to do without your equipment around. And otherwise, just work out at home, do your burpees, push-ups, chair ke saath tricep dips and squats and lunges and God knows so many exercises. So I just feel there's no excuse when you really want to do it. Yeah, you have to love what you do, and you have to understand the importance of what it does to you. So for me, it's not about how I look, it's about how I feel after I work out.
That's great. So this next question is from Suryaveer Berry. His question is, how would you differentiate between the quality of the civilian life and the defense services life? That's a tough one. I do agree.
If I was not an actor, I would have said it in a very different way. But right now, because I have to be very, very careful with my words, I just feel that there is a reason why the kids from defense families do very well. One, also because the parents give them equal opportunities, and they're okay with the fact if they want to try different professions. In fact, even in my industry, there are so many names, I mean, from Priyanka to Lara to, so many of them who are from the forces, Anushka Sharma. And I just feel, like I said, yeah, you've seen it all, and you've seen way more than a person staying in one place has seen. It's not about civilian or army. I think just the exposure that we've had, of changing 10 schools, for example, as opposed to somebody who's been in one school. They don't understand the idea. When I say that, I've changed 10 schools, they're like, how did you manage? But then I tell them, I didn't know any better. That was my way of life. That was life for me. So if I didn't travel, probably I would have been like, oh God, dad's been posted in one place for 5 years. What's happening? But it's the way you tune yourself. And we're tuned to doing so many things with so much ease and a flow of life that I feel it's great.
One message for our students and today's youth?
Wow. Firstly, a message for all of you would be that keep smiling through whatever you've decided to do. You know, be passionate, be driven, be honest with yourself, give your 200% because I'm a spiritual person. I believe that if you do not give your 100% to the universe is never going to give it back to you, and you have no right to expect it as well. So be honest with yourself, keep working hard, and I'm sure you're going to be able to do whatever you guys want to do in your life. And even to the youth, whoever's watching, different industries there could be different challenging situations in life, but just stay focused and just believe in yourself, and there's nothing that's impossible. That's all I'd say. Things could come later, things could be tough, things could be difficult, but it's not impossible.
One question that I got yesterday from Julie, and now we've got it from Praful also, and I personally wanted to ask you this myself as well. Can you talk a little bit about the Beti Bachao Andolan that you worked very closely on? Because this is something realizing, all of us realize the importance of that. So if you could just speak a little bit about that, that'd be great.
Of course. So, firstly, I'm very thankful to the Telangana government to associate, have my association with Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao program. It's really disheartening to see how even today in 2020, we have to have programs to educate people and inform them about what the government is doing for the upliftment of girl child. You know, you have to sort of lure them into the schemes that government has to be able to let that girl child live. And yes, it's 2020 and there are people who are unaware. There's still so much cruelty that's happening in interiors of the villages that we being in cities are not even aware of. But there's been a considerable amount of work with the Telangana government. In fact, the numbers, I came on board about 3-4 years back, and within 2 years, we saw a very, very good increase of numbers of women, girl child in education, or a fall of the fertility rate, literally feticide. But yeah, I think it's an ongoing battle. It's not going to change in a day. It's going to take a while. It's going to take all of us actually, to keep spreading this word in whatever capacity we can. If each one of you meet somebody, your help, for example, just to educate them so that they can educate 10 other people, it's going to be a chain reaction, and it's going to take a while till we actually have. I hope to see an India where we don't have these schemes. I really hope to see an India where we don't have discussions on gender equality, inequality, on equal opportunities, because that's the day when we stop these conversations, is the day that we would have really reached there.
Absolutely right about that. One more question from Harshil Gaul. We're just going to just pass out on all the questions. One question from Harshil Gaul. Being one of the busiest actors in the country, how challenging was it to suddenly switch off and stay at home when you were in overdrive work mode?
So I think that's a good question. Thank you. I've always been very, like I said, workaholic, hyper, doing so many things at a time, sleeping like 4-5 hours. But to be honest, I turned a little spiritual and started calming myself down about 3-4 years back. And about 2 years back, when I introduced yoga in my life, that was a little sanity. And this was the test to that sanity. I really thought that yoga calmed me down. I was still working at that pace, but not stressing, of course, because nobody teaches you how not to stress. Of course, I've had my stresses. Initially, when I started working, I didn't even know what to do, how to talk to the media, how to not let a disaster affect you. People will write articles about you, half of them absolutely nonsensical, 90% being absolutely wrong. How do you deal with all of that? So nobody teaches you that when you're growing up, that how do you compartmentalize your life, and also nobody knows this is a different world. It's not like your life is not your life, right? It's a public platform. So for me, I started yoga, and I started feeling that, yes, this is great because I don't stress about my work. I go do my work with the same keenness and enthusiasm, and I come back. But I'm telling you, that was the best thing that I did to myself. Just introducing yoga and meditation. I can very proudly say that in March 18th was the last shoot that I did on a set. And today we're 6 months down. It's what, 15th August. And I've not had a single day where I felt that, oh my God, what's going to happen? Because you understand that you are more, like I said, you are more than just your profession. There is so much we as humans can do. The potential of expanding, exploring with yourself. And I always wanted this time, and I could give myself so much more time right now to understand what I really want. How do I see myself a couple of years? What are my likes, dislikes? I spent a lot of time reading. I do enjoy reading, but with shooting schedules would not get so much time. But this time I was just reading a lot. So, when you're not stuck onto your image of what the world sees you as, but you're ready to explore and understand more, you can do so much with your life. I did some online courses. I increased my meditation, which I couldn't do at that point. Of course, half a day would go in workout, yoga, meditation, and the other half would go in reading or doing some other course, or just watching a lot of content. I did a business course. I did some stocks and shares course, just like that, because learning is something which is going to help you in some form at some point in life. And it's not like I'm opening a business tomorrow, but the gyms that I have, I thought I don't have a course, or I've not really done studies in that. It's only common sense that I use. So why not understand a little bit? And I think once you understand that, and once you have the desire to learn and grow, you can make the most of time. Yeah, I mean, I don't understand how people say time nahi nikal raha hai, kitna kuch hai karne ke liye. Even now I feel that the day finishes and I still have so much more to do. I started reading the Vedas, Upanishads. There's just so much one can explore.
From my brother, Captain T.S. Kalsi, was posted in the Special Forces in J&K now. Interesting question, I would say. If you were to join a fighting arm of the army, what would you join? The infantry armored or artillery like your father?
I think artillery like my dad.
I think he has his answer now.
It'll be artillery like my dad. Yeah.
It's from Praful, and then we'll wrap this up.
No worries.
What are the ways in which an individual can contribute to the nation?
Sorry, I lost you there. What are the ways
in which an individual can contribute to the nation?
Just being a responsible citizen, yeah. I mean, your contribution to nation, of course, you guys are aiming to be in the defense, which is an extreme contribution, which is great. But I feel if every person just understands the meaning of being a responsible citizen, whether it's about saving water or treating everyone equally, or not keeping the surroundings green. I mean, come on, guys. I have stopped and thrown cans and bottles on cars which have thrown trash outside, because it really hurts. Why don't you treat the country like your own? You go abroad and you know that in the US you're not supposed to do that, but in India you can. So I feel that irresponsibility needs to go. And I really hope that this pandemic strikes that in people's minds, because suddenly everyone has understood that there is an imbalance that is happening, and you are negligible. And if we don't take care of the planet right now, we're all going to finish. And it's high time that we really understand that. So I feel if each one just takes their own responsibility of being a good citizen, and live and let live, and respect each other's freedom of thought, speech, and just being, and let them grow, and treat your country like your own home, we'll have a great nation to live in.
To my last question also, which is on this Independence Day, what is your hope or wish for our nation?
Well, I really hope that people understand the true meaning of independence. You know, what is independence? It's freedom. We got that freedom 70 years back, 73 years, 74 years back. And we're still not okay with people actually being free to do what they want to do. You know, we just spoke about a beti bachao, we just spoke about equality, inequality. There are a lot of rituals and a lot of conditioning that we as a society are living on. And I really feel that people start respecting each other's choices and give them that freedom of choice of their life. I think that's when we'll really be a free nation. You know, that control needs to go away from people's lives, and let everybody pave their own journey. And I think that's really freedom for me.
Thank you for being so patient and answering all of our questions.
Not at all, not at all. My pleasure.
Inspiring us today.
I hope I answered most of the questions and it wasn't boring and yeah, and too preachy. Oh, I get a thumbs up there from Apur Sharma. Thanks, man. He's like,
I think that comes from everyone at all.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Thank you for truly inspiring us today and for showing each one of us that the most superior and rewarded qualities are perseverance and hard work. On behalf of Major HS Kalsi, the entire faculty and staff at Baalnoi Academy, our students and all of our viewers on Facebook, I thank you for taking out the time to speak to us today and inspire us to do better each day. Like you said, let's respect our nation, let's love our country, and let's not forget the sacrifices made by those who helped us to achieve freedom. May our students and all Indians be blessed with freedom of thought, mind, and spirit. Jai Hind.
Jai Hind. Thank you, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. You've just helped us all out so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye and stay safe, everybody.